In Monday Morning Memo from 821, Roy shared the formula for APE. I love this. Such clarity in a fuzzy landscape is glaring. How are these APE elements derived? In other words, how do I determine my impact quotient or personal experience factor? David.
Well,
Now, Dave, you years ago came up with a really cool tool for kind of playing around with these metrics.
I did. It was a really cool tool built on a Flash program, which is no longer supported on the World Wide Web, so it's not usable anymore. But the APE is
Yeah.
the advertising performance equation, and Roy talked about it, I think, in his first book. And when I've taught that concept, and I've done it many times over the last 23, 24 years, the thing that people have to get into their heads about the advertising performance equation, and especially about impact quotient and personal experience factor, is that, man, these are subjective, right? And impact quotient, in the words of the advertising performance equation, the impact quotient is the ability of your ad to persuade. It's the impact that your words, that your message has. And the quotient is as compared to other ads in your category, right? So if all of the car dealers are screaming ads that sound like all the other car dealers, it's not hard to have a higher impact quotient than all the other car dealers by just, telling stories and being honest and not screaming about the interest rates and all the crap that all the car dealers are always screaming about, right? Your impact quotient goes up. If you're in a category that has a lot of really good writing and really creative stuff, impact quotient, it's relative. And the thing about it is, man, you can't put a number, you cannot put a firm number on it. And in fact, even the variables in the advertising performance equation that seem pretty straightforward, like share of voice, right? The definition of share of voice is of all the ads in your market for your product category, how many of them are yours, right? And so, man, there's no way to figure that out either, right? Because
So, so
you don't know your competitor's social media budget. You don't know how many ads they're running on TV. Best you can do is come up with some guesses, and you're never ever going to drill the advertising performance equation down into some kind of number that you can say, oh,
mhm.
well, my personal experience factor is a 1.3.
So
No.
Dave, can I
Yeah.
interrupt?
Hmm.
Because I want to ask a question because I think that's a beautiful point. And okay, it's subjective. So then what's the point of APE or APE and is it worth using?
I think it definitely is, because what it does, it's definitely worth teaching and worth studying, because what it does is it shows you the relationships between all these things. So you think about the first couple of variables, your share of voice times your impact quotient, how meaningful, how impactful is your ad, equals share of mind, right? So if you're spending a lot of money and you have a 10% share of voice, that is 10% of all the ads in your category are yours, but you have an ad that just sucks, that just sounds like the worst radio ad or TV ad you've ever seen or heard, that just fades into the background, or is just weird and unnerving to people, in
So
a
then
bad.
that
But
scores low, right?
it scores low, right? It's a less effective sounding ad than all of your competitors. You can take the money that you spent on uh, on share of voice and leverage it into a lower share of mind, right? So that's, I think of both of these variables, the impact quotient and the personal experience factor, as levers. And if you nail your writing and come up with a really memorable, impactful ad, what happens is you turn a 10% share of voice, which is purchased, into a 20% share of mind, which is the number of people in the market that think of you first and feel best about you when they need what it is that you do. So impact quotient can do that. And personal experience factor is just another of these levers that's a little bit farther along. And what personal experience factor measures is how well you deliver on what people expected when they came in your doors, right? So if your ads promise that, man, this is going to be great, it's going to be a fabulous experience, and we're fun, happy people, and you come in and everybody's just crabby and sour, and they don't do what they said they were going to do, and the parking lot is a mess, and the carpet's dirty, and you can take all your hard fought share of voice and share of mind and flush it down the toilet by delivering an experience that's subpar. Now, the easiest way to cheat on personal experience factor is under promise and over deliver. Don't promise them the moon.
So let me recap what you just said and put a bow on it. Basically, these are subjective. So it's your best guess, make an educated guess. And as a marketer, if you're being hired to write the ads, you actually don't have any control over the personal experience factor. You can look at it, you can measure it, but it's the business owner and their operations actually control that. So then I want to punt this over to Asia. I want to pick your brain, Asia, because as marketers, then we don't have control over how the business owner actually runs the business and therefore influences personal experience factor. So what do you do to kick up your impact quotient of the ads that you write? Like,
the first step is I always try and adhere to the first mental image of the ad has to be more interesting than what the listener was previously thinking. Otherwise, you're probably not going to get listened to. So I make sure, and it's a hard punch right off the bat. It's something that's new, surprising, and different than anything else that's going on around them. I try for that as hard as I can. Using different techniques, which, by the way, can all be learned. Also, making sure that it does not sound like an ad. Because as soon as it sounds like an ad, I don't know about you, but even though I write ads and I listen to ads, if I'm listening to the radio and an ad comes on and it sounds like an ad, I turn it down, I zone out, I change the channel. I do, and unless it really hooks me and makes me kind of raise an eyebrow a little bit, I'm probably not going to listen. And especially it helps to listen to the other ads in your category and see what they're doing and pivot and do something different from them. Do the opposite of whatever they're doing. That's another fun way. That's another fun technique. Do the exact opposite of what all the other ads in your category sound like. Just go the total opposite way.
Yeah. That's awesome. And I mean, I love that tip because it seems too simple to be like effective. Like surely it's more complicated than that. It's like, no, you can literally just do the opposite.
Yeah. So, if everybody's screaming, whisper.
Yep. Yeah. Stand out in the category.
It's awesome. It's a good exercise in like the random entry writing lesson that we do, right? Just open your favorite book to a random page and pick a sentence at random, like close your eyes and point. And I want to say, on the personal experience factor, just one more point, Zach. Secret shop your competitors. Send your friends in, send your wife's friends in, and have them, like, you can. I actually created a little sensory evaluation. So like, just create a grid and put the 5 senses down one side and list your competitors across the top, and simply go to every competitor in your category and rate them on, does my store look better or look worse than them? Does it smell better or smell worse? Do I offer a more tactile experience or less? And you can kind of see where you stand with personal experience factor by just doing something that simple. And you really will gain a lot from doing some personal or secret shopping to figure out, because your goal isn't to be perfect. Your goal is to be better than all your competitors. That's it.
Yeah, that's why
all
you
you
have
do.
views of your competitors and see where they're falling short. And
Make sure you're
where you
not
can hit
delivering
harder.
that same thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.